was so hard to read. Wow. Let's talk about reminders of him. I just want to show you guys the cover with my pretty tabs. The blue means I cried. My name is Maddie. I'm going to be giving you guys a review on Colleen Hoover's new release, Reminders of Him. I finished it in one day. It was phenomenal. It was sad. It gave me tears. It caused me to rethink my life. I did plan on doing a reading vlog for this video. I was gonna read the whole book in a vlog, but I started that vlog right before work one day and finished it at work. And I didn't want to vlog while I was at work, but I did end up filming the parts where I cried. Look how cute this is. Javi coffee link down below, and I will link down below this pretty glass. I do have a discount code for it. I kind of just want the whipped cream, I'm not gonna lie. So before I get into the details of this book, I want to give you guys a little quick summary. This book had a lot of different things going on, so my summary might be like jumbled up, and I'm not going to just give you like verbatim from the back of the book. We have 4 main characters that I want to point out that are important to the rest of the summary. We have Kenna, who is our main character. We have Scotty, who was Kenna's previous boyfriend. We have Diem, like Carpe Diem, their daughter, and we have Ledger. Ledger is Scotty's best friend. Ledger and Kenna end up meeting in this book. From the very beginning, Kenna is released from prison, and we don't exactly know why. All we know is that she's been in prison for 5 years, and we also know that she gave birth to her daughter in prison. So for the past 5 years, she has never met her daughter, never seen her daughter, never even seen a picture. She didn't even get to hold her daughter after giving birth. Since Kenna is released from prison, she ends up going back to a really small town that, and actually right where she was before she went to prison. So she went back to the same small town, stir the pot with drama a little bit, but she was dying to meet her daughter. And it's basically her whole story about trying to meet her daughter, but along the way we figure out why she went to prison. We also meet Ledger, and Ledger is a local bar owner slash Scotty's best friend, and he actually has a connection to Diem, Kenna's daughter. That's all for the summary right now. I am not a mom. I am a dog mom, but I am not a mom, so I cannot relate to losing a child. I cannot relate to getting a child taken away from me. I'm gonna write off the trigger warnings right now. There is loss of a loved one, separation from one's child, depression and anxiety, tragic event, and suicidal thoughts. Let's talk about my pre-reading thoughts. What I thought before I went into this book, and maybe what you should think about before reading into this book. First thing, what I just mentioned, definitely look into the trigger warnings of any Colleen Hoover books. Me, personally, I knew that it was going to be a really emotional book because Colleen Hoover on Instagram herself said that it was probably her most emotional book that she's ever written. And another thought that I had right before going in is that I knew nothing about this book. I literally just wanted to read it because it was Colleen Hoover's new release, and I've read many of her other books before, so I was vaguely familiar with the plot, and I knew that the main character had been in prison, but I didn't know anything else. Let's get into my reading thoughts. So what I thought while I was reading the book. First of all, our main character Kenna is one of the strongest one of the strongest female characters I've read in a really long time. She's coming from a place of such loss and pain. You're reading her point of view and you are hurting for her. Colleen Hoover does a really good job of making you feel for her main character. Again, I can't relate to her situation because I wasn't in prison and I didn't get separated from my child. If you have any empathy at all, you still want to like reach through the book and hug her. From someone who has been lonely before and dealt with depression and anxiety, I can completely say that Kenna just needed a friend, needed someone to be on her side, and that's kind of where Ledger comes in. And Ledger is amazing. He is great with kids. He used to be a pro football player. He owns his own bar. He's building his own house. Like, he's very driven. He's just this amazing, well-rounded guy. But throughout the book, we do see Ledger really struggling to accept Kenna and accept her situation. Let me give a little bit more background. No spoilers still, but a little more background into how Ledger and Kenna actually know each other. So like I said before, Kenna was dating this kid named Scotty, and something happened to Scotty, but Scotty had a best friend, Ledger. Since something happened to Scotty 5 years ago, Kenna was sent to prison. Once Kenna gave birth and then 5 years later got out of prison, meets Ledger. So when they first meet, they don't know each other, they hit it off, everything's going great, and then he finds out who Kenna is, and things kind of, go go to shit from there. But I will say Ledger's point of view was super difficult to read at some points because you just saw his inner battle with Kenna versus Scotty. Like, whose side does he take? Is he supposed to take a side? What does he do about their daughter? Like, he's basically like an uncle to their daughter. Like, it's just a very difficult situation to be in, and you felt for Ledger on a different level than you felt for Kenna. For Kenna, I wanted to hug her. For Ledger, I wanted to be like, dude, you're in a messed up situation. I wish I could help. He was stuck in this really, really crappy situation, and both sides you felt for. You saw his mind playing tug of war, and it was really, really tough to read. Even I, as the reader, kept trying to choose a side, but I couldn't because I felt so bad for Kenna, even though that she made an incredibly stupid mistake. But I also felt for Ledger and Diem. It's just the most inner battle while reading that I've ever had before. It's just I couldn't choose a side. So if you're kind of wanting something to challenge your mind, this might be a great book. You will laugh. I thought that Ledger's parents brought a really decent side of humor to this book that it needed. It needed a little bit of pep. His parents really brought some funny aspects to it. It'll make you cry, obviously. You'll feel giddy and get butterflies at some points. I thought that Ledger and Kenna had this really great chemistry as adults, whereas you do see Kenna and Scotty when they were younger teenagers, they also had good chemistry. So you're getting two really decent sides of a relationship, and on top of that, you are getting two perspectives. You're getting Ledger and Kenna every other chapter. Getting the dual point of views was super helpful because you needed to see both sides. Now let's talk about smut, because Colleen Hoover does write a lot of romance into her books. This is one of her least steamy books, in my opinion. There's not a lot of focus between the physical act, if you know what I mean. There's maybe like 2 or 3 short little scenes. The main focus of this book is not the romance, it's the relationships between all of the characters. That's it for my reading thoughts. Now let's go into my post-reading thoughts. Again, I've said this so many times, it is a sad book. That's basically what I took out of it. When I finished it, I was like, wow, that was really sad. It ended happily, but in a happy way that you were crying because you were sad. I don't know how to describe that. Quoting Ledger from this book, they were in a pretzel situation. His mind was a pretzel. And that's how I felt, because you could not pick a side. You were just like, it was like an infinity sign. You were struggling. It was tough to realize at the end that there is no picking sides. You just have to deal with the situation that you were dealt with. And that's really tough to come to terms with for a lot of people. And it was great to see Colleen Hoover kind of write these characters come out of this situation in a positive way. If you do like Colleen Hoover and you are into all of the twists and turns and trigger warnings and kind of messed up situations, you'll love this book. Now, the big question. Would I recommend this to you? I don't know. I would say, like, yes, it's a great book. It's really well written. The plot is amazing. The characters are great. It's not a happy book. Like, I can't just say, like, oh, you'll love it, because who knows? So I can't really say that I would recommend it. I liked it a lot, and I don't know if that makes me fucked up or not, but I did. I really liked it. So it's a great message about forgiveness that I think a lot of people should read or should understand. I don't recommend it to everyone, but the message behind this book was phenomenal. I did end up rating this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know why I gave it 4.5. It just wasn't my favorite. Just I've liked other Colleen Hoover books better. This was supposed to be a vlog, and I've never done a single book review on my channel before. So if you did like this style video, please let me know in the comments, and if you'd rather a vlog, please let me know that too. That's it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. I shouldn't be laughing. Oh my god.